Grief is one of the most difficult things any of us will face in life. If you're there now, I am so sorry. I've been there. I know how tough it can be. Jesus has also been there. He knew about the pain of losing someone he loved. Do you remember yesterday's passage? Jesus heard that John had been executed. That's bad enough, but Jesus had also sent word to John that there would be no miraculous release from prison. Jesus was not going to intervene on John's behalf. That must have intensified the grief Jesus felt about John's death. Mark tells us that Jesus wanted to get away. He needed to be alone. He needed time to grieve. He wanted time to pray. And so he told his disciples, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." And so they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. When Mark wrote of this in the Greek language, he used a word that could be translated a wilderness place or a desert place. It was a wasteland. Because of that, it was a lonely place. People didn't want to live there, so it was a good place to pull away. It was a good place for Jesus to retreat. There are lots of places near the Sea of Galilee where this would have been possible. The hills near the northeastern shoreline of the lake are often suggested as the place where Jesus was headed. But when people saw Jesus and his disciples leaving one harbor, they followed them around the shore of the lake and were already there when Jesus and the disciples landed their boat. Pay attention to a nice detail that Mark gives us right here. Mark says Jesus had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. I know this is the Bible and you kind of expect language like that, but this is really important. Mark is using the language of Scripture to write about Jesus. And there are lots of passages in the Bible about sheep and shepherds. They range from Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd," to Zechariah's prophecy about sheep being scattered when their shepherd is gone. So when Mark takes the time to say that Jesus saw the people as sheep without a shepherd, this is an intentional use of Bible language to talk about what happens next. Remember this, Mark was not one of the 12 disciples, but he was apparently a disciple of Simon Peter. If that's true, then this story is actually coming from Peter through Mark. It's Simon Peter's recollection of events. Mark is writing the words on papyrus several years after the events took place, and he's telling us Simon Peter's story. But you can almost see Simon telling Mark about this day. Mark, Jesus taught the people, he healed the people, and then he fed the people. Then there's a tiny little detail that Simon Peter added, and it's very unusual. Jesus directed them to have all the people sit down in groups on the green grass. I count only 16 colors that are mentioned in the Gospels, and 7 of those 16 are either black or white. The purple robe Jesus wore on the day of his crucifixion is mentioned 4 times, and 4 more colors are mentioned in parables. But right here in a real historic event, Mark says all of those people who were like sheep without a shepherd sat down on green grass. That's not accidental. There's no way. Maybe Simon Peter just wanted us to know that it was spring. For in the spring, right after the winter rains, the grass around the Sea of Galilee is a beautiful shade of green. The color of nature is at its best in the spring. But what if it wasn't the spring? What if this story came after the sun started bearing down and all the grass had died? For 7, maybe 8 months every year, the lack of rainfall in Israel means the landscape is brown, not green. If it happened to be during the dry season when Jesus fed all of these people with a boy's sack lunch, then the green grass is part of the miracle. Here's what it means to us, especially in seasons when we're dealing with grief. There are seasons of life when life is dry, discouraging, maybe even depressing. Like a dry field in the heat of summer, it's just a tough time to be alive. Jesus was in one of those seasons when this story took place. John had just been executed and Jesus was grieving. He hadn't come to the far shoreline of the lake to minister to thousands of people. He had come to get away from those people. He wanted to be alone. But he had seen the crowd as if all the people were sheep, and he knew they needed a shepherd. So he ministered to them. He healed them, taught them, loved them. He gave them joy and life and encouragement. And when he fed them, he had all of them sit down on green grass. You know, it couldn't have made that much difference, but Simon Peter never forgot about it. And Mark made sure he mentioned it. It was a small gift of God's love on a very difficult day. Oh, this is such a good lesson for us. Small gifts of God's love like green grass, it's not going to solve our problems, but those gifts will remind us that God has not forgotten us. If someone you love does, maybe you'll be comforted by a pastor or your community of faith. Someone might hold you. Another one might pray for you. Someone might offer help or bring some food. None of those things will make the pain disappear. But if you will notice the small gifts of kindness in that season of life, it will be better. And this is God's gift of green grass to you. Now watch what Jesus did as he worked through his own grief. He eventually sent the people away and found that quiet place. He rested, he slept, he prayed, he grieved. And when he was ready, he got up and he started to minister again. This is the formula for living through seasons of grief in your own life. Give yourself time and space to rest. Absolutely. If Jesus needed rest, so will you. At the same time, pay attention to the small reminders that God has not forgotten you. Like Mark and Simon Peter, we need to be people who notice the green grass along the way. And then get up and find someone who needs you. Minister to them. For in helping someone else who is hurting, you are very likely going to help yourself work through one of the most painful seasons of your life.